What's up? So, guess this will be a round of just a tip or whatever it'll be. So, I get a lot of questions about training and training through injuries and being smart and what you're pushing for, those type of things. And one of the things I want to recommend to people is that while you're training, have some intent and know why you're doing what you're doing. For example, like I'm gearing up right now for a world championship, nursing a little bit of an injury. And it's really minor. I can't express that enough, but I'm definitely not 100%. So the biggest thing I'm trying to do is be confident in my training and be confident in what I've done. I mean, hell, it's worked for me the last 4 years. I'm sure it's going to continue to work. But part of it is there's nothing better than showing up at a powerlifting meet, Highland Games, a strongman, a weightlifting, football game, not really football, more of the individual sports, track meet, that I know that I'm confident in my squat or my throw or my lift, and that all I've got to worry about that day is gearing up. It's just getting emotionally ready to compete, because I've done the work up to that point, and so it's going to translate. It's going to work. It's gonna do it. I'm capable of. And so if I shit the bed, that's because I wasn't mentally able to compete, and that's the worst. I don't mind getting beat by someone better than me. Never have, never really cared, whether it was weightlifting or powerlifting or even Highland Games or fucking anything. Getting beat by someone better than me is totally acceptable. And believe me, there's people out there better than me. Just about everything. However, getting beat because you shit the bed and you didn't compete to the extent that you're capable of, that stinks. That's the worst. That's that fucking choke. And that's what I train for. That's what I train to have confidence in, that I know I'll get it done. That if you want to win, it's because you did more work than me. It's willing to suffer now and put in that time and build that confidence so that you're on autopilot that day as far as your competition goes. And if you shit the bed, man, that's your fault. It didn't have to do with anybody else. Finding that rhythm, that's what I want. And that's what I want to see other people realize that you're trying to do. It's, I know going to France in 2 weeks that I'll be prepared and that I'll throw well. And I know this because I've thrown well every time I've gone to throw. And I know this because the last 4 world championships I've done, I've come out well. I've thrown first or second place. I've been no lower than third in any competition I've done in the last 4 years. I'm ready for that position. I'm ready to deal with that stress. I'm ready to compete and be at that level. And part of that's the demands I put on myself all year. And part of that comes from competing. That comes from the experience of being in competition and being ready to compete, being ready to throw when it matters and when it counts. I can't express that enough, that you got to be able to find that in you. That ability to be a gamer, to know when shit hits the fan, I'll get it done. That if there's a throw left and it's between me and you, you're gonna have to take it from me. And look, man, have I had failures? Big time. I've had huge shit the bed. Shit the bed at a national championship in the Highland Games the same year I won a world title, and it happens. But you gotta brush those off and you gotta move on to the other one. Let those be the exception, not the rule. Mistakes are gonna get made, but know that you can get it done more times than not. Be confident in that. If you're backed against the wall, you'll perform. It's just one less thing you have to worry about. So take that, think about it. Hopefully it helps you guys out. Any other things you'd like to see me address in a little bit longer video, come at me. Cheers.